This is what my dorm currently looks like. It's very, very empty now because my parents were here yesterday to move everything out and I leave tomorrow, and I just kind of want to document it because this is the last time I'm going to live in a dorm, which is weird to think about. So like tonight's going to be my last night in a dorm. Hey guys, as you can see, I'm back at home and I'm gonna have to get used to how red the lighting in my room looks again. Out of my dorm today for the last time, which is really weird. I cannot believe that I'm finished with college and I don't even know the next time I'll go back to Marion. That's so weird. It's been 4.5 years of my life. But today was eventful. So I had set up to a meeting with the resident director for 11 o'clock so I could check out, and like all morning I was getting ready and everything, and I go to load the car and I ended up locking my keys in the trunk of the car, not even in the front of the car, it was in the trunk because that's where I was putting stuff. And apparently the keys got, okay, so I had my like one rolling suitcase, and so there was like the little indentation thing where the handle goes down. Apparently the keys got stuck in there, so I didn't see them, and I closed the trunk, and then I didn't have the keys, and the rest of the car was locked because I hadn't been getting in the front of the car. So it was like an hour before I was supposed to meet the resident director, and I called AAA, and they sent someone, and he got there pretty quickly, but then really struggled to get the car open. He was trying really hard, and like the stick thing that he was like sticking in the window to try and get to the lock was slipping off of the lock, and he tried for like more than half an hour he was trying. But it's kind of hilarious to me, and I also feel really bad because after like that half hour or something, he's like, if you open the handle from the inside of the door, does it come open even if it's locked? And I remembered that it does in fact do that, which I knew, but I didn't think about. And he said something about how only Fords do that, which I didn't know. I mean, looking back on past experiences, I can now remember that most cars I've been in, you can't open the door from the inside even when it's locked, but that car you can. But that didn't occur to me as we were trying to unlock it, and it didn't occur to him until after like more than half an hour of struggling with this lock. So then he's like, okay, I'm gonna try that, and it took like 5 seconds for him to hook the stick that had been completely unsuccessful at hitting the actual lock button, and there were 2 lock buttons on each of the front doors, and he tried both front doors of the car and could not get either of those unlock buttons, and for more than half an hour. And then he realizes that because it's a Ford, he can just pull on the handle, like the inside door handle, and that took 5 seconds, and the door came open and I got in the car. But I feel so bad because I knew that. I feel so bad though because I knew that the door would open from the inside even when it was locked. It just didn't occur to me that that was important information to share, but it didn't occur to me at all while trying to get the car open. So yeah, it took a really long time. I missed the meeting time with the resident director. Luckily, like, my car was stuck immediately outside of the dorm building, so it got to the time when I was supposed to meet the resident director, and I told the AAA guy, I'm like, can I go in and talk to her so like she knows what's going on? So I went in there and I explained to her what was happening, which was kind of embarrassing. This is the only time in my life I've ever locked keys in the car. But she had a doctor's appointment really soon after that, so she gave me a little envelope to stick my keys in, and she told me she would inspect my room later, so hopefully she doesn't find anything. I don't know what I'm pretty sure I left it fine because I left it the same as I have like every other year. But yeah, so I didn't even have like an official checking out of my room because I locked my keys in the car. But it's fine. I got them back. eventually, it took a really long time and it was really cold outside, and I feel so bad about not thinking to say something about that beforehand. Yeah, that happened. That was an experience and a significant chunk of my morning. And then I drove home, which sucked because I hate making that drive, and I don't even know when I'll have to drive to or from Indianapolis again, which is weird. It occurred to me that before I forgot to mention something else that happened today. Obviously, getting my keys locked in the car was like a significant, probably still the most significant thing that happened today. But also, when I took a shower earlier, I got in the shower, went to close the shower curtain, and the entire like shower curtain rod and everything just came falling down. So that's another thing that happened to me today that has never happened before. And then the first day I'm home, it happens to me. I know that this could potentially look more appetizing on camera than it does, especially since the grease shows up particularly well on camera. And trust me, I don't typically like greasy food, but I am so thankful for this right now. I feel like I've done absolutely nothing today, which is weird because I had a really long to-do list made for myself for today, but I don't feel like I actually did any of it, even though I did. It's a weird feeling, and I think it has something to do with being home instead of at school, and just like the feeling of being at home.